Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my fourth design on my series of design videos. Today, we're going to be working on the bottom design. So, we'll just make a quick square. So, as this one's coming from the bottom, we're going to have the path go down there. So, I've already got my hometown, I've got a farm town. And as of yesterday, I had a water town, which I've drawn up and will upload at some point tonight. So tonight I decided that I was going to do something, again, a little bit different. I don't know how this is going to look fully yet, but this one, I want it to be kind of like a maze. I thought that'd be more interesting for the player. So, nothing complicated. Just something quite easy. Obviously, once I draw it up, it might be a bit different. I might make it more complicated. And then in this forest, I don't know, there could be little treasure chests that the player needs to find and open. Could have little bushes where things could be hidden in. A maze is like the last thing I thought I was going to do, but I decided that why not do something different? Why not change it up a little bit? So that'll be the entrance. And the good thing about this maze is that there's only one way in and one way out. So once you get in, you've got to find your way out. I'm also thinking for this to have like a little spotlight that only shows a little bit of where the player's going. So light, and everything else will be dark. This means that the player is actually going to have to look around, move around with the light to find different paths, to find the right way. But then it also makes it just as hard going back to the entrance. Because I want to make the maze quite easy, I don't want it to be that easy. So having the light, little spotlight, will make it easier for me to make it harder for the player, but not too hard, otherwise people will lose interest. So what I might do, if I don't go with this idea, is I might have more bushes around the map, but some of these might have hidden items in, or enemies, so that the player doesn't get too confident when going around and there's no risk of being hurt or damaged during this part. I might not have enemies in the towns, or I might do. Like I keep going through this as I draw each design. I keep saying something and then saying something again. But it's important for when I need to look back onto these videos, I have all my original ideas jotted down in speech so that I can always go back to an idea if I want to try that idea out. If, however, I don't have enemies, traps. That will be something that I might do if I don't have enemies, just to give that element of it being a little bit more difficult for the player. Always remember, people don't want anything to be too easy. However, they don't want anything to be too hard. Otherwise, you are going to lose the interest of your audience. And if you lose that, they're just going to stop playing your game because they don't want to play something too hard. They want to be able to do it, feel good about doing it, and feel like they've achieved something. So with the spotlight, the easy maze, and either having the enemies or the traps, that adds all of those elements together to make quite an interesting little map for the player. Now, when I draw the maze up, it will be just a bog standard maze. When it comes to designing it, it could change. That's the interesting thing with the maze. Nothing is literally set in stone until you make it. This is because mazes change. Like this, the maze that I've drawn now isn't exactly the best maze. For example, you can't actually get to any of this bit. So when I redo my design, I'll make sure that I use all the space of the page. Otherwise, I'm going to have to find like stuff to fill the border with. So this is, I don't know if you can guess the name of this, but this is going to be Maze Town. Or it might have a different name. I don't know yet. That's just the bog standard name I'm going for at the minute. Just so I can tell all the maps apart. So this is my 4th design in the series. What I'll do with this is I'll do what I've done with all the other ones. I'll redraw it up so that I can upload it so that you can get a better idea of where I'm going with it in my vision. But it could change. We'll see when it comes to it. And then when it comes to actually making it, this town I'm not going to say is set in stone at all, because who knows what's going to happen with this idea. Tomorrow is indeed the last design idea for my last town, and then I've got one more design day where I'm going to design the little rooms that connect the 4 towns to the main town. After this, we will then need to start thinking about research and target audience. So the next part will probably be doing some research and getting some primary research and secondary research. Primary research is the research we'll do ourselves, so anything like questionnaires, interviews, stuff like that. And then the secondary research is research that's already been done that can help support what we want to do with our idea. Research is really important, just as important as the design idea, just as important as any phase of making a game. You need to make sure there is a market for your audience, and if not, that's when you need to make changes during this part. It's easier to change it now if you find your target audience changes from what you thought it was going to be. So that stuff I'll go through after the designs are done, like what I think my target audience is and all that other research. Then I will make changes after that if I need to, depending on who my target audience is after all my research is done. So, sorry that was quite a lot. I will go over some of that again on a later video, but for today, this is my Maze Town design idea. I will draw this up and I will put it online again so that you can all see it. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow for the last town design of this design series. Thank you. Bye.